Carl and I are going to show you how to install the DAC Industries D-Tex panic bar on a chain link gate. We're going to start by unboxing. Now, once fully assembled, this is going to be an alarmed gate. Here is the panic bar.
Latch, all the assorted hardware you need.
In this box here we have the panic bar shield extension plate. The plate is going to get mounted directly onto the gate. As you'll see, it is adjustable so it could fit a range of different sized gates. This also has a security function as it prevents people from sticking their fingers through the chain link wire and accessing the latch from the other side.
Now Carl, what's the first step in getting this assembled?
Well, we want to mount the latch about 42 inches off the ground. That's code, 40 to 42 inches. And the plate has to be mounted first, and then the latch will get mounted to the plate.
So Carl is going to measure from the bottom of the gate. We want our panic bar to sit at 42 inches, and we want the panic bar to sit 10 inches off the beginning of the plate here. So we're going to set our plate at 32 inches.
The plate itself, we want it on the center of the pipe of the gate, so that, or the holes, so that when you put the screws in, they're self-tapping screws, that you're not drilling in on an angle. You want to hit the top side of the post. All right, there are several bags of hardware here in no particular order. We're just going to dump one out and get what we need. Okay, so we're going to check the measurement again on the other side, and we're going to go 32 to the plate. To fasten the plate to the gate itself, we're going to use self-tapping screws. Once I get one in, I like to go to the opposite corner and get another one in. Let's check the measurement. I'm going to move to this side, 32 to the plate, and we're going to put another Tex screw in on the opposite corner. At this point, we'll screw in the rest of the plate. We'll put the other 4 screws in, and that'll give us our base of operations. We like to use an impact drill for this rather than a regular drill. It gets through the metal much faster. Okay, the plate is solid, it's mounted, and our next step is we're going to mark where we want that latch to be centered. And then again, that was at 42 inches. And we'll make a mark at 42. And this is the backing plate for the latch assembly. Now this gets mounted about 2 1/4 inches back of the plate, the end of the plate. We'll make a mark. And what we do for this, we're going to center it on the mark. It's not critical, but you want to get it within a 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch. It's not, it can vary a little bit, but we want it close to that 42 inches. And again, what I like to do here is I'll start this with a self-tapper, and you go to the outer 2 screw hole openings. That looks good. We'll put another self-tapper in here. And once they're in, I take them out because we're going to use nuts and bolts to fasten this. I'm going to open up that hole to about a 1/4 inch. Use a regular drill. And then we're going to put a nut and bolt in to fasten this. No, my fat finger got in there. Okay, that's one. I'll take out this self-tapper. And we'll open up this hole again. Let's see if I can get my fat finger in there this time. This is probably the most difficult screw to get in on the whole deal. There it is. Okay. These are nylock screws, and once you put them in, they don't come out. Okay, the plate is now in, and we can take the latch assembly, the panic bar. There are two tabs here and two legs here, two legs here. And we want to line this up. Helps to put it on a slight angle, and then just drop it down. And that looks pretty good. The next step here is we have to mount the back end of the panic bar assembly, and this slides and adjusts for length. So we want to get this up in here like this, so that it's all the way seated towards the front. This is a battery holder and the backing plate to hold the back end of the panic bar itself. And there are grooves in the panic bar assembly that this plate fits into, and not always so well, but oh, there it goes. All right, that was pretty good. And we've put the spacer under here. The spacer is so that you can get the back cap on and clear, because it needs clearance on the bottom. And then we're going to use a self-tapping screw to hold the plate. But before we do that, we want to check measurement. We want the front and the back of the panic bar to be the same distance from the plate. So we have 9 inches here, 9 inches here, and that's where we want to mount it. Now I'm going to make a substitution here. Instead of using a Phillips head, I'm going to use a Tech screw with a hex head, only because it mounts better and easier and faster. I'm going to use a 5/16 self-tapping hex head to mount this back plate. The back plate is now in. Panic bar is solid. We can throw this on. And we have a front cover. Now this assembly slides out. This is the lock assembly or the alarm assembly. We need a 9-volt battery, which we have somewhere around here. And here it is. That will power the alarm. Probably good for about 2 years, depending on how many times the gate is opened. Now it's just arming itself there. And we'll tuck this in. And out of the way. And that's where the battery sits. Now the back cover goes on. The back plate has 2 small screws, and trust me when I say they're small, and you just screw those in, and the front plate gets 4 of the same, 2 in the front, 2 in the back of that plate, just to hold the caps on. I'll point out that even if you lose the screws, the plates do tend to stay on. I mean, it's nice to have screws in there, obviously.
Now we are going to pan over to Dennis and the crew where they are setting the gate opening.
Your first pipe is going to go like here.
In this case, our chain link gate is 36 inches exact width. And just like with any other gate, you are going to need space on each side of the gate for the hinges and the latch to function properly. For the panic bar latch, you are going to need 7/8 of an inch of space. For the box hinges we're going to use to hang this gate, you're going to need 2 inches of space. We are therefore going to make our opening 38 7/8 inches.
Your opening is going to be 38 7/8 exact.
Now, as you'll see, the crew is installing these posts indoors in a big warehouse. We are surface mounting these pipe to a concrete floor. It's a very interesting installation. We actually made an entirely separate video about this job where we show you the process of installing a chain link fence indoors. So if that interests you, stay tuned for the link at the end of this video. But for now, let's continue with gates. As you'll see, this job is going to require 2 gates. We have a gate here on the left, then a 2-foot piece of fence in the middle, and then another gate on the right, because remember, these gates with the panic bar can only be opened from one side. So for safety reasons, this warehouse required 2 gates. Because we are using a panic bar, the opening is much smaller than a regular chain link gate. Therefore, we are installing a pipe above the gates to lock the posts in position so that they do not move in either direction, thus maintaining the gap needed for the panic bar to work every time.
What we're going to do now is we're going to attach our box hinges to the chain link gate, and we're going to hang it on the 3-inch post. The box hinge is made to go around the frame. Normally I like to catch it right under the frame and right under the frame, but the gates are a little bit tall. So what we're going to do is we're going to catch it under a tension band on the bottom and the top. And then just so, these tension bars are real tight, I don't think we'll ever have a problem with them, but just to be on the safe side, after we hang the gate, we're going to put a self-tapping screw into the tension band, locking it in place, okay? So right now, Jose is going to show us how we put these box hinges on. So now that we know the gate is, is built the way it needs to be built, I don't want this to come off. They provide double stick tape on the back. We're just going to peel the tape off, the paper off of the tape, and we're going to slide this on.
The last part of this is to install the keeper and the latch. This is an adjustable latch. Now, these latches can either be bolted on or welded. I prefer to bolt them on just in case you have to move them around and you don't damage the finish on the latch itself. So we want to adjust this so that we've got about 1/8 of an inch clearance between the latch and the striker bar. You just need clearance between the latch and the keeper. And we want to snug it up and keep it centered. And I like to go from one to the next, back and forth. Try and tighten them down equally. Make sure it's straight this way, which it pretty much is. You can test latch it. I like a little more clearance in there, so I'm going to back off a little bit. And this is a little bit of trial and error, but that's much better. You don't want to tighten them too much. Too little English on it, and that's about it. You don't want to kill it. And that's a good result. So that looks good. And this works with or without a self-closer. This one does not have self-closers. You could add them. You could add security to the gates. There are all kinds of options you can do with these. But this is just a simple panic situation. I don't know if we went over how to arm it. Clockwise, we turn the key back to the center, remove the key, and the green light will flash for about 10-15 seconds, and then we'll get 2 beeps to let us know it's armed. And then from there, anytime this gate is open, that alarm will sound. And it'll keep sounding until you come back with the key and turn it off and then to center. If you turn it off and back to center, it will remain off. And opening it will not sound the alarm. It only arms when you turn it counterclockwise to on position, back to center, and remove the key. Now it is armed. We can add, and we will add, a couple of set screws to keep this. All right, the alarm is now armed. We will put set screws in here to keep this from moving, and the keeper also has an adjustment on it as well. This can go up or down if there's any movement in the gate, expansion or contraction. So that's pretty much it. And if you want a nice alarm or a nice panic alarm, this is a good one.
This is a very professional panic bar made to be very customer friendly. You do not need to be a fence professional to install. These are available for purchase directly from Natural Beauty Fence. Simply text or call me at the number below to place an order. This was the DAC Industries D-Tech Surface Mount Exit Bar with Switch. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please subscribe for more.